So how should we see the resurfacing of language wars now? Joining me now is author, columnist Shobhaa, who occasionally likes to call herself a Maharashtrian mulgi or a woman from Maharashtra. Shobhaa, let's cut the chase. Do you believe that Marathi should be made mandatory for anyone who lives in Mumbai? Or should Hindi be imposed in any manner as the MNS and the Shiv Sena are claiming?
Rajdeep, let me give you a quick backgrounder to who I am. I'm not an occasional Maharashtrian mulgi. I am Maharashtrian to the core, born into a Maharashtrian family, proud to be a Maharashtrian and very proud of speaking and knowing Marathi. But to go back a little to what you just asked, I went to a school which was founded in 1875. Surrounded by Marathi speaking people, but it was a Protestant school. We were taught by British teachers, and we had 5 languages, including Marathi, Hindi, Gujarati, Sanskrit, French, and English, of course. There was no dispute at that time at all about language being a political issue. It has been made into a political issue by warring cousins who are on shaky ground. They want to be relevant. They have an important election to fight. Suddenly they've discovered their love for the language. And forget all that. Maybe they truly do love the language. You cannot indulge in hooliganism in the name of Marathi Manus pride or Marathi language pride. You cannot do language dadagiri. It's just not on. The person that they slapped, that young Jodhpur Sweets, the salesperson there, and also what the owner said after that, is far more wise, far more relevant to a city like Mumbai, when they pointed out that language is not something that should be imposed on anybody, that you must be able to speak Marathi. That guy very wisely said that we speak in all languages. That is the spirit of our city. We do not believe in Marathi chauvinism. At least I don't. So what was indulged in was intrinsically wrong. It's
Shobhaa, I think most viewers and would completely agree with you, violence unacceptable. But how does one respond to those who say that learning Marathi, speaking Marathi is important because Mumbai is at the end of the day a Maharashtrian city. Therefore, this is not Marathi linguistic chauvinism as much as just pride in your language. Capital city of Maharashtra, why should those who migrate from different parts and come to Mumbai not learn the language of the city, i.e. Marathi?
I'm not saying that for a moment. Of course, they should learn Marathi. It should be something they learn with respect and pride, and not something that is thrust upon them in an aggressive manner. My only point is against using violence to impose this kind of a rule. Because if you remember, Rajdeep, Article 19 of our Constitution reminds us that in terms of freedom of expression and speech, that we can speak in any language we choose to speak as citizens of India. No political party can appropriate a language and say that speak in this language or else. By all means, learn Hindi. By all means, learn Gujarati, Marathi, learn Punjabi, learn whichever language you choose to. You'll only be the richer for it. But to use it as a political tool, that is intrinsically wrong. And I'm glad that there are enough sane people across Mumbai and Maharashtra who are saying the same thing.
But what would you say to those who say, I hear Maharashtrians who say that we are being reduced to a minority in Mumbai. There are only now about 37–40% original Marathi speaking people in Maharashtra. The waves of North Indian migrants are coming in, changing the demography of the city. We've heard the same argument in Bengaluru, where similar instances have happened. Kannadigas saying if you come to Karnataka, you must have all your signage in Kannada, you must speak in Kannada. So it seems that there is this constant sense of grievance that a section of locals feel against the so-called outsiders, and that's what's really playing out. Do you agree with that, be it in the context of a Mumbai or a Bengaluru, locals versus outsiders?
If it's happening in Karnataka, if it's happening in Maharashtra, doesn't make it right. People who are agitating in this manner and talking about outsiders and insiders, they're talking in a very narrow-minded way. Let's be far more progressive about it. I mean, we've faced this in Maharashtra and in Mumbai. I have gone through it, lived through it myself. When you remember when South Indians were targeted. And in any case, the signage across Maharashtra and Mumbai is in Marathi and in English. The script is the same, whether it's Marathi or Hindi, it's Devanagari. So, what are we actually saying? That every single person you meet on the street should be fluent in Marathi, and if that person is not fluent, you're asking to be slapped. I mean, what kind of politics is that? All I'm saying is, if you're so concerned about education, make the quality of education across Mumbai and across Maharashtra something that we can all be proud of. Focus on progressive, whatever policies you want to follow. No one's going to challenge those. But to use something suddenly to discover that, oh, we are under threat, 37% only of Marathi speaking people, we should ask ourselves why that has happened. Mumbai has always been a cauldron and also in many ways a melting pot of people from across through centuries came from all over India and made Mumbai what it is, the vibrant capital of India, financial capital of India, in many ways the multicultural capital of India with a life and identity of its own. This simply will not work. Mumbai is what it is because of all the people who've come and contributed to Mumbai's richness. So to slap someone who is not in a position to retaliate is nothing but cowardly. And it, like I said, it is a cognizable offense. They're out on bail bonds, we're told. But actually, any other person, if not belonging to a political party, would have faced arrest. Why should the law be any different if, for seven people or four people who belong to a particular, almost marginalized political party in our city and state?
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm also going to ask my producer to stop showing those pictures of that man getting slapped. I think that's gratuitous violence, unacceptable. But what I find interesting here is the Hindi factor in Mumbai. I mean, here is the city, Mumbai, which is the identified with Hindi film industry or Bollywood. You've tracked Bollywood for years. Everyone wants to identify with Hindi film stars and their celebrities. Suddenly, where does the antipathy against Hindi come from? Is that what surprises you? You mentioned all those years ago, South Indians being bashed up for not learning Marathi. There was an element of job competition there. Now Hindi speakers being targeted. Do you see that as pure politics? Because this was seen as the city that encouraged Hindi film cinema, and indeed Hindi spoken as the street language of Mumbai.
Well, I don't think it has anything to do, essentially, Rajdeep, with Bollywood or Hindi speaking or the Bombaya Hindi that I so admire and use myself. It has everything to do with a certain threat posed by political parties who are equating Hindutva with Hindi. I mean, Raj Thackeray's statement about I'm Hindu, but I'm not Hindi. It sounds very dramatic and wonderful, but does Hinduism come with a specific language? It does not. Hinduism belongs to whoever feels like a Hindu, wants to identify as a Hindu. And in every single language across the world, even if you call yourself a Hindu and you believe you're a Hindu in French, it's equally valid. Some time ago, they tried imposing, Marathi cinema at peak times at all the multiplexes. It backfired. So it's not something that is this new sudden discovery of love for just Marathi and down with Hindi has everything to do with politics and nothing to do with the pride in Marathi. If you're proud of Marathi, make sure that you enrich the awareness of Marathi in the right possible way. 100-year-old lady has shown us exactly that. Her name is Yasmin Sheikh. She's a Marathi grammarian, the absolute authority on Marathi, how it should be spoken, the richness of Marathi. She said only recently that language does not recognize religion. She's proud to be a Marathi grammarian based out of Pune. Why don't you use her to make sure that Marathi deserves the kind of place that you wanted to in schools and
Right.
colleges? And spoken Marathi is widely, in the best possible sense, shared with the people of the city and the state, not by indulging in hooliganism. I'm completely opposed to that kind of dadagiri. no matter where it comes from and who tries to justify it.
Just one final question. What you're saying, therefore, is all of this has less to do with the demographic changes in Mumbai, the fact that so many North Indian migrants have been coming in. It's actually purely to do with politics, trying to find ways to capture political power by the Senas, especially ahead of the crucial BMC elections next year. It's all politics at the end of the day.
Absolutely, it's exactly that. And the threat right now that the cousins are facing, seeing that how the BJP performed, and possibly trying to preempt something that they fear in the elections which are tomorrow. But the Mumbaikar and the people of Maharashtra know better than to be divided on this flimsy basis alone. If they have something concrete to offer the cousins, which will benefit the people of Mumbai and of Maharashtra, by all means, put that forward. But don't use language as to beat up everybody else, because that's not going to work. The city is made what it is, so rich and so amazing for the rest of India because of the people who've come, the outsiders, the so-called outsiders and the migrants. Who does the work on all our building sites? Is it the Maharashtrian boys and girls or women? No, it's migrants from across India. Why are they here? Because they're getting that opportunity to work here. Are we stopping Maharashtrians from going to other states and saying, no, no, you must not travel for work opportunities anywhere else? No, in a country like India, there's free movement of people. You go where the jobs are. If they're
So,
coming to Mumbai because we are providing them an opportunity to better their lives, embrace them, welcome them, and by all means, let them learn Marathi. It's a beautiful language.
couldn't agree with you more, Shobhaa, on that. Thank you very much for joining us. I know in the past, for your strong comments, the Shiv Sena has targeted you. So stay safe and thank you very much. Shobhaa, speaking out there on language wars. Hooliganism, completely unacceptable, is the message loud and clear. The two Thakres, in fact, are coming together for a rally tomorrow in Mumbai.